Become a patron at www.patreon.com/Golden Era Bookworm for hard to find books, scans of rare photos, and articles on the Golden Era of bodybuilding. Hi everybody, Golden Era Bookworm here. Today I'd like to continue with the Silver Era series on the legend Reg Park, focusing on his back routine that he performed in 1950. Now these 1950 routines which I am especially interested in, and I hope that you are too, because they are essentially the blueprint to his Mr. Universe physique, which he won, of course, this title in 1951. This is why I really enjoy bringing these routines, because it allows us trainees to see and follow Reg Park's progress from a teenager all the way to Mr. Britain and to the Mr. Universe, and to really see this transformation. Today we're going to look at the basic exercises Reg used early on in his teens, and then how he later used more advanced principles of bodybuilding to achieve more mass and bulk onto his back, as shown here in this awesome front lat spread, which I know I've shown this photo before, but my god, every time I see it, it's like, wow. I mean, I can just imagine Reg Park right now just gliding in the heavens right now with those fantastic lats. I mean, so I really hope you enjoy this video on Reg Park's routine for his back in 1950. Now if we look at Reg Park's early training routine for his back, it's a very simple but effective method of using the chin behind the neck and barbell rowing. Of course, when performed for several sets, you can get enough volume and some pretty decent development, just as shown here in this photo of Reg Park where he's 20 years old performing a double biceps pose from the back. And I mean, he's got some mass there, some good muscle delineation, so it's all there. Of course, not bad for a 20-year-old bodybuilder who's natural in the early Silver Era. However, later he began to incorporate the cheating principle and other advanced principles, really to focus on developing more mass and bulk on his back. And he also incorporated a variety of exercises, which we're going to go through now. Now, if we look at Reg Park's 1950 back routine, the first thing that is so obvious is that he's increased his size of his lats. I mean, they're much wider. The muscle delineation is much better. All the muscles are just bursting out, and I mean, the muscles of the back have really become more massive. I mean, look at the trapezius there, and the length of the lats are running all the way down. We can see the spinal erectors are coming out nicely as well. The rhomboids, all of it's there. And the muscular definition, of course, is fantastic. Also in his shoulders and arms, everything's just improved. And now if we focus on the back routine, firstly, each of these exercises were performed for 2 to 4 sets, as he recommends, and for up to 10 reps. And by that he means that sometimes he would focus, for example, for a month on increasing the strength of his back by performing lower reps and more sets, and other cycles he would then change and go for volume for higher reps, like 10 to 12 reps, and focus on lower poundage but on good strict form. Now if we look at the particular exercises, what I really enjoy about the article that I read about this is how he actually performs each of these exercises. For the wide grip barbell row, he actually took a very wide grip, and I mean very wide, and he based this style of barbell rowing on the repetition snatch, which is a exercise that the Olympic weightlifters commonly do. And as he puts it in the article, when he met many Olympic weightlifters, he noticed one thing about them, and that is that they had a really wide back, and they attribute it because of the repetition snatch. Now, if you've never performed a snatch before, you have to hold the barbell with your hands almost at the collars, and having it at such a wide such a wide grip really focuses the effort on the lats. And so he took a very wide grip himself, and instead of just performing slow strict repetitions, he would also incorporate cheating into his barbell rowing to almost emulate a repetition snatch, and that's how he started developing a much wider, thicker back. So really using principles of Olympic weightlifting, a very intelligent principle to use for development of the back. Now, other exercises that he incorporated were the one-arm row, and instead of cheating here, he actually really focused on performing slow negative. So he would go as heavy as possible and forcefully in the concentric really lift and pull the elbow back. But he does mention that on the way down, on the negative, he would go very, very slow and really tax the lats. Another excellent idea there from Reg Park. He also, to finish off, would perform lat machine pull downs and, very interestingly, side to side chin up. So he actually would perform the chin up by coming to one arm and touching the shoulder to the bar, dropping, and then performing the same on the other side. So he would touch his right shoulder first, then go down and go to the other side and touch his left shoulder and repeat like so. Really, I guess, taxing the latissimus one side at a time. So a very, very interesting workout there from Reg Park in 1950. And I mean, the results are very obvious. If we look at these comparison photos that I've offered here, we can see Reg Park's transformation all the way from when he was 17 years old. In the far left, you can see that he's already starting to, even after a few months of training, he's already started to develop some musculature. And in the middle, we've got his transformation 3 years later. Obviously, a massive transformation in everything. Everything has increased. His calves, his back, his arms, shoulders, everything, even his neck. It's very obvious. 3 years later, when he's 20 years old and just having won Mr. Britain, you can see how well his musculature had developed. But the photo on the far right is only after 4 months of training and using this particular routine. And what we can clearly see is that the muscles are much more massive. The lats are way wider and the back is just thicker overall. Everything's improved. Of course, the shoulders, the backs, the forearms, the calves have gone massive. Everything's improved. And I'm going to be talking about his shoulder workout and his legs workout later on. But I've already mentioned his chest routine and arms routine. And from this comparison shot, it is very clear that these 1950 routines really did work for him. And as I mentioned before, the major differences were the use of now more advanced bodybuilding principles, a greater variety of exercises, and greater volume. So I really do hope you've enjoyed watching this video on Reg Park's 1950 back routine. I've already covered, as I mentioned, his chest routine and arm routine from 1950. If you want to learn more about Reg Park's routines, I've got some books online on www.goldenerabookworm.com. Strength and Bulk Training for Weightlifters and Bodybuilders, a classic by Reg Park, and How to Build Bigger Arms, also by Reg Park. If you've enjoyed watching the video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't to the Golden Era Bookworm, leave me your comments and thank you for watching. If you'd like to support my work, please donate via PayPal or become a patron at www.patreon.com/Golden Era Bookworm. And as mentioned, you can visit my website for courses on silver, bronze, and the Golden Era of bodybuilding. That's it for me. This is the Golden Era Bookworm. Bye for now.
Hi everybody, I just want to recommend this phenomenal book, Vince's Secret Locker, volume number 2 by Carl Coyne. I've been looking at this for about 4 weeks and I can't put it down. If you get a chance, check it out. He also has a part 1 that I highly recommend also. Vince was the trainer of the stars and had an amazing, interesting gym that today there's still not equipment like it around. It was all made out of wood. He'll be on our radio show coming up probably in the next couple weeks or so. Have a great day, and again, highly recommend this book.